and welcome to another episode of the BC Real Estate Podcast. It's me, Ricky J, in the office today with the one and only Jeff Chadha, JC Homes. How's it going, Jeff? What's happening?
You know what? It's crazy. It's crazy, Rick. I got so much to say today. I got so much energy about this topic, right? So, you know what? Let's. You keep bugging me about the whole call to action thing.
Right,
please like, subscribe, thumbs up, all those things. I keep getting Ricky to remind me to say that, and I just looked at Rick and I knew in the back of my mind he's probably thinking, hey, you know what, Jeff, do it.
That's right.
So, like, subscribe, thumbs up, share it, do a dance while doing it. I don't care. Just do whatever Ricky says, please. He gets mad at me.
Of course. And don't forget to give us a call if you're thinking about moving around in BC, all over BC, Surrey, Vancouver, Burnaby, Fraser Valley, wherever. Make sure you guys give us a call. The number will be down up below. But I did want to dive right into this episode. We had a bonus episode for you guys last time, but this is actually episode number 7. And it's going to be about pre-sale condos, which has been a hot topic lately. I wanted to know some pros, wanted to know some cons, wanted to know your thoughts and opinions, Jeff, about pre-sale condos. What's happening with that?
Okay, so Rick, it's such a hot topic right now, right? Yeah, you see buses with the ads of pre-sale. You open up a newspaper. Believe it or not, there's still newspapers out there. Right?
Yeah, I know.
With pre-sales. It's all over the internet, on your Instagram feed, on your Facebook feed. It seems like they're almost stalking you with, hey, pre-sale here, pre-sale here, pre-sale here. Sorry.
Yeah.
So when we're getting to the pros and cons of it, the very first thing I always ask all my clients, right, is take a breath. Are you buying it as an investor or are you planning to live in? Right? Now, some would be, well, what difference does that make? Well, I'm about to tell you, right? Okay. Now, in this video, Rick, I'm in no which way giving advice, right? This is just strictly my opinion, right? So in my opinion here, it may seem like I might be more one-sided than the other, but I'm really not. But what I'm seeing in the industry, what I don't like, Rick, is that there's so much advertisement and hype about pre-sales, right, that it's almost shadowing what buyers should be careful of.
Okay.
Right? So although there are many pros, there are many cons as well. And I'm going to be diving into the negatives.
Okay.
Right? But let's start, and to be honest, I'm going to be looking at my screen because I wrote my notes down and I want to make sure I didn't miss anything here, right? Now, the obvious of pre-sales, you get them at a cheaper rate, right? You're getting them cheaper than the unit next door that might be already built. Part of this reason is developer sells X amount of units to get financing from the bank to start up the next phase of it. So they have money in the bank to do everything, which they sell at a cheaper rate. You're buying something that's not tangible, that's not there, right? Usually why you get a better rate at it.
Yes.
Right?
Earlier the access rate, the better.
Well, yeah, you get earlier pricing. You're not going to move into a piece of dirt.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Right? The other good thing is, regardless as if you're buying as an investor or you're buying to live in, you don't have to worry about the completion, meaning you can, the mortgage factor, right? You don't have to worry about getting a mortgage. If the building is set to complete in 2023, 2024, 2025. I mean, we're doing this video today. It's May 1st, 2021. So if the building is completing in 2023, 2024, we don't have to worry about that mortgage right now, right? That's one of the benefits, right? So what happens is it also gives you time to build up and save up money, right? Which is a good thing. So you might have a bit for the deposit right now, but come nearing completion time, right, you might need more for the down payment, right? You might have 10% now, good enough for the deposit, but come completion, you might need 20%. Well, you might have 3 years to get that money, right? So that's the other plus side, right? There is warranty on the building. We're not going to talk too much about warranty. We're not, warranty people, right? But there is something called the 2510 warranty.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
The other benefit is on pre-sales. This is quite normal. It's the norm, right? When you go and buy a pre-sale, you go into the pre-sale showroom or wherever their office is. You write your contract, and you usually have a 7-day rescind period, or as it come to known, subjects, and it usually be subject to financing. So you can write it then, and you get 7 days to decide if you really want it. Now, developers might hate the term I'm using right now, but I tell my clients it's like reserving it for 7 days.
Okay.
Right? You're reserving it. It's like pretend it's Valentine's Day, and you made your booking a year in advance. And the day of, luckily you did it because your girlfriend, wife, boyfriend, husband would love them because you have that seat at the table, right? Whereas if you try to book it that day, you might not get a chance, right? So it's basically like saving yourself a spot. You can decide if you want to or you don't want to. It does not cost you a thing, right?
Okay.
Except your time of going there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I really want to talk about the negatives, Rick.
Okay, yes. Yeah, super important. Most people are probably looking for the negatives about this
there's
video.
a lot of negatives. I mean, we were talking today. You had some questions about some of the negatives, right? What were some of the ones?
Yeah, one of the most important ones, the most common ones, is I wanted to know about flipping a condo, as they would call it. Most people refer to it as flipping a condo. Super heavily asked question that I've had from friends, a lot of friends, some family as well.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
The process behind it. Do all development, even though I know the answer to this, but do all developments allow it? In terms of talking about pre-sales.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. I'm going to get to that. It's a very, very in the real estate world, it's called assignments.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
But it's more commonly known as flipping. Right. But let's just start from the very top of negatives then, right?
Yeah.
Now, we touched about deposits on the positive sector a little bit, right?
Yes.
But let's talk about the negatives of it. If you have the building complete in 3 years, right, that deposit amount is tied up, right? So now, a pro and a con, but we're on the negative section, is you really have to understand the deposit structure, right? Every development is different. Some developments will have 10% total up until completion. Some will have 5% today, 5% 90 days from now, and 5% in a year from now. Some might have 5% now, 10% later, and 5% later. They're all different structures. So you really, before you go buy it, understand what the deposit structures are. Now, some developers are different than others. Some might even be more lenient and say, okay, well, we took 5% from this person, we'll take 10% from you. Believe it or not, although we want to think that everything is equal, it's not. And I'm going to get to that later on about the rant I was telling you about. Sorry, I didn't even say I was supposed to mention this before. I was all hyped up. I have a really big thing I want to talk about at the end of this video. Like how Peter Griffin says, grind my gears. Yeah, it's going to be at the end of this thing.
Yes,
but
stay tuned for that.
You really need to understand the deposit structures of the development you're buying, right? But because that's really going to determine how much money you have to put down, right? If they're requiring 5% now and you give the 5% now and then 3 months later they're saying 10%, well, how about what happens if you don't have that 10%?
Exactly, yeah. Some
Right?
people ask that as well.
And do you lose your 5%, right? I don't want to say yes or no to that. Every developer has their own contracts, and these contracts are written by lawyers. It's not some high school kid in the back just wrote this up for mom or daddy here.
Yeah.
They're spending millions of dollars on this project. You think they're going to have a proper lawyer drafting this up. So they already have backing by a professional lawyer. You'd be a fool not to go in and do your own research, right? So understand the deposit terms, right? And the stages of it. The other thing here is a lot of people, actually, Rick, you were talking about this with when the question had about mortgages, right?
Yeah.
Now, mortgage approval.
Yes, that's right.
Now, I'm going to put a disclaimer out there again. I am not a financial advisor, nor am I a mortgage broker. I'm just talking about my personal experiences. There are some institutions out there that work very closely with pre-sales, and and you can get a pre-sale that's 3 years away, and they will have the conditions set in place that you can get approved today, and you'll still guarantee your rate. They'll have conditions and approvals, but some don't. Like, some people don't know this. Some people will go to a different brokerage house or a different bank, and when it comes time for completion, they have a whole different rate, hold everything, because the bank didn't approve on that pre-sale or something. You know what I mean? It's so. Once again, planning, how we talk about it on our videos. When you're buying a pre-sale, even as an investor, please don't assume that you're 100% gonna flip or assign it, because you may have to complete on it. If you have to complete on it, can you get mortgage for it? Plan, figure all these things out, even if you're planning to sell it before completion. It's dumb not to. It doesn't cost you anything, right? So just go do the damn thing.
Of course.
Right?
Yep. That makes sense.
One of the other thing, and this is going to tie to the next 2 points, is about the market and how it fluctuates. Right now, it's crazy.
Yeah, still
Without a doubt,
crazy.
it's not. It's crazy right now, right?
Still going crazy.
And what's going to happen in 3 years from now? And I've said this before in my other videos. I can't tell you what's going to happen in 2 weeks, Rick. Right?
Yeah,
So,
I've seen it. I've seen it myself.
We had a client that they bought a property with us in September. I'm not going to say the name of the client or the property itself, but they bought it in the mid 500s, and we just sold it yesterday. They said today's May 1st, 2021. We sold it yesterday for almost a profit of $200,000. Right? Now, if I could predicted that, I don't care what a realtor says, I don't care who anyone says, this is the real truth here, people. If I knew that property was going to increase by $200,000 in value, why the hell wouldn't I buy it?
Of course, yeah.
Like, let's just be real here, right? I mean, all these people here are talking about, the market's going to go up this way, it's going to go down this way, it's going to this way. There's no crystal ball here. You know what I mean? We can go by stats, we can go by figures, right? But I haven't seen that many people who are that genuine to say, I can 100% guarantee the market's going to go this way. If I knew that property was going to go up $200,000, why didn't I buy it?
Yeah, of
Why didn't I
course.
tell one of my friends about it? Why didn't I do this? But what I
Yeah.
did do is I did talk to my client and make him feel comfortable. This is a property to live in. Is there a chance the value could go up? Yeah, but if it doesn't, are you comfortable living here?
Yeah, can you stick it
Right?
out? Worst case scenario.
It goes into the investor versus live-in thing. It wasn't a pre-sale either. It was actually an older unit. So market fluctuations. Now, that rolls into, well, what happens in 3 years if the market drops?
Yeah. Yes.
Right? And Rick, when I did that there, I wanted to throw a little kind of thing bomb or something,
We'll
like
throw
something, going downwards. But maybe not a bomb. We want this thing rated. Stop saying that, actually. Can the buyers back out? No.
No. No, they can't.
No. I mean, you paid for something. It's not the developer's fault. Like how the positive was that you're getting it cheaper, right? That was a positive.
Yeah.
I can put on the other side here and say, okay, well, is it fair for the developer that the prices rose? That you bought it for $300 and now it's worth $600? Is it fair for the developer to say, hey, I know you only paid $300 that time, but the market's jumped so much, so can I pay $500 now? No. But the same thing happens on the other side. You might have paid $500 for it. I don't believe in the bubble bursting or popping. I do believe in deflation, right?
Yeah.
Can the market deflate? Possibly. Could things happen in different parts of the world that can affect our economy here? Definitely, right?
We've seen it happen.
So, once again, are you an investor or are you going to be living in it? So, if the property you bought for $500,000 is now valued at $450,000, can you back out? No. And the other thing you have to look at is your mortgage approval again too. You have to, those topics all go hand in hand.
Now, in most cases, let's say if somebody's financing didn't go through, they would lose their deposit money,
Good question.
right? That was a super common question as well.
Yeah. If it didn't go through, the developer can actually sue you.
Oh, really?
They can, but it's like a normal transaction.
Okay.
Right? Everyone talks about the positives. Oh my God, I got this pre-sale. Oh, look at that gone up. Stars, fireworks, all these kind of things. But no one sees the dark side. Right?
So always two sides to a coin.
And it'd be cool if you did actually one of the Darth Vader things when I said that. But no one sees the dark side of it. If you don't do that, I had a client just recently, Rick. Sorry. There it is.
Yeah.
I had a client. I got so much energy. I got Rick to put some energy drink in here. I had a client just recently call, and they bought a pre-sale 2 years ago. Completion's coming up now, and I'm not going to say who the realtor was or who their mortgage broker was. Called me crying. I don't even know her. I actually called from the YouTube videos.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And asking for help. And I asked her what happened, and she told me her completion's coming up, and it was supposed to be last year, and I'm going to get to that part too, but it didn't happen last year, and she had a child, so maternity leave, change in work, all the kind of things, and one mortgage institution didn't approve her, and she couldn't come up with the completion. So she was, what do I do?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, we have to figure out something out. Luckily, with our mortgage connections, we were able to get her financed, right? So that way she didn't lose her money. She didn't get sued. Anything didn't happen. Luckily, that's a positive outcome story. I mean, I had nothing to do with that transaction. Like, she didn't buy the property through me. I didn't make $1 for the transaction. But it's not all about me making commission every single time and every deal. That's not what a realtor should be here for all the time. Yeah, we have to make money. Yeah, I mean, I want to eat.
Yeah.
Right?
You gotta eat.
But, it's not always about that, Rick. We want to help clients too.
Of course.
Right? So I set them up with their mortgage broker, and they were able to get everything done. So that was a happy story. So the other part that we're getting at here is when you buy a pre-sale, usually, and I'm going to ironically talk about this on my rant too, usually there's little to no negotiation room on pricing. They usually have a set rate. This is the price. Here's what this is. Plan A1 is going for this. Plan B2 is going for this, blah, 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 blah. You usually a set price. So usually no negotiation with that, right? Now the other thing here is you're also buying off a floor plan. So sometimes the unit's not there, or it could just be a showroom, not the actual place itself. So, if you're a visual person and you really need to see the unit, it might be tough, right? So that also is a small negative there as well. Developers can actually sometimes make alterations or substitutions, right? So you really have to see the disclosure file. Sometimes they say, okay, well, we were going to have a dog park walking area, but we've now taken it out. But you might have bought it for that reason. Now what? You know what I mean? Or we were gonna have this beautiful Zen garden at the top, but we decided to take it out. You know what I mean? Or the square footage of these units can be this. There's so many things. So you got to be careful of that too.
Of course.
Now, for those people who are looking to flip it, what's actually called assignment.
Yes.
Now, buying a pre-sale, there is no guarantee that you can make a profit. Simple. I wanna reemphasize that. There's no guarantee, people. If it was 100% guaranteed, why wouldn't the whole world be doing it? If the whole world would be doing it, right? Is it really a thing then? Right? It has to be. You have to have a negative to have a positive. You can't have just everything being positive all the time. Then what's the value of a negative?
Exactly.
Nothing.
There's
right?
definitely some risk involved.
So there's no guarantee that it's going to make a profit. Now, to get to the point that you were saying here, Rick, about assignment. So meaning usually people look at the word flipping or assignment for two reasons.
Yes.
One, that we just kind of talked about, where the person couldn't come up with the money. So they have to sell it. So it might not be even trying to sell it for a profit. Right? They're just trying to get out of the contract, which is also called an assignment.
Okay.
But the more common thing is people are trying to flip it or assign it to make money. They bought it for $400, trying to flip it for $500, making $100,000.
Prior to completion, obviously, like
Prior
3
to
years down the
completion.
road, 2 years
Prior
down the
to
road.
completion. Now, people have to understand there's things called assignment fee. Some developers have them, some developers don't have them, some have 1%, some have 5%. You have to look into the contract, have a realtor, call me, like I would say, call me.
Of course.
To go over these things, right? Is there assignment fee? How much is the assignment fee? When can I even sell it?
Exactly.
If the building is ready to be made in 2024, can I buy the unit today in 2021 and sell it tomorrow? Or do I have to wait till 2023? Or do I have to wait for a certain portion of the property to be sold first, right? Can I advertise it with a realtor on MLS, on Craigslist, whatever? These are all things that need to be discussed. Or sometimes they're actually in the contract and you have to be read, right? So assignment's a huge thing that people often sometimes don't think about. And the percentage is also now tax on the assignment.
Some people don't even know about the tax.
Exactly.
Shocks me.
You make $100,000 profit on the flip. You're paying the assignment fee to the developer, and then you're also paying now GST on the assignment itself, on the portion itself. So people have to get educated. I'm not an accountant. I'm not giving advice on that. I'm very big on disclosures here, people.
Yes, neither am I, guys.
So go talk to an accountant about that. Right now, the two other things I'm going to talk about before getting into my main rant here is. How about if the project doesn't complete? There's been projects in Vancouver in the news and all that kind of stuff.
What ask
people gave deposits and the project never completed for
whatever
shady
reason.
Shady developer, guy ran out of money, whatever. Didn't complete. What happened?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Well, that's why you go with a buyer's agent, right? Buyer's agent's there to protect you. Make sure there is a reputable builder. Do your research. Have your realtor do the research. Don't give the money directly to the developer. The developer, if they're a good developer, they'll have a proper lawyer, right? And it'll be held in trust.
Oh, yeah.
So at least you'll have your money held. If the thing doesn't complete for odd reasons, or, they ran away, you get your deposit back at least. It might be tough to sue somebody because you can't find them, right? But at least you have your money there. You give it direct to the developer. Happened in the news, some people are giving money direct to the developer, and the developer ran away.
Yeah.
Right? So another big thing to be worried about, this happened recently with one of our clients, is something called outside dates. It's a fine thing into the contract that oftentimes the sales agents at the sales center don't really talk to about it, or they really talk really quickly about it.
Oh, yeah.
It's something called outside dates. The project is set to complete. Okay, we're 2021 right now. The project is set to complete in, let's just say, a year, 2022 at May. And they have a fine print there saying the developer can, if not finished at this time, can extend the completion by 180 days, considered the outside dates. So now you didn't read that. You're all set to move in. You gave notice at your tenant place or whatever. And they're not ready yet.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can't do anything. Now you're stuck and you're homeless and you're scrambling.
Yeah.
Right? So now
there's 0% vacancy, right? That happens.
Yeah, it's happening right now to one of our clients.
It's happening in certain pockets too, probably.
And we had to tell our client, you have to prepare for this, right? Does an investor really care about that? Nah, not so much. But if you're planning to live in, that's what the question asked before, but live in, right? Now, is pre-sale or resale a better investment, right? Depends on what type of buyer you are.
And market?
Obviously, it's market. Obviously, it's market. So now, I'm going to talk about about my rant here, and a lot of people I've talked to already about this. Kind of warned me. Said, Jeff, are you sure you want to talk about this? But you know what? I don't really give a bleeping. Because it's ticking me off right here, right? There seems to be happening in the market right now a lot of bait and switch kind of advertising tactics. Some developers are giving out pricing to realtors so we can go out there and advertise their product. We get the hype going. We get all these things. We got people coming down excited. We're excited for them.
Of course.
Right? And these developers only allow a select group of realtors, right, that they call their inside, and they give them only early access, but they tell everybody else we got the same access. And when we go there with our buyers, the prices have now jumped completely, right? Where you could have been advertising this property for $500, by the time you get there, that same property now it's $650. What the hell?
Yeah, this happened to me in my first pre-sale, by the way.
Really? We won't talk about names.
Yeah, no,
right?
not at all.
Now there are reputable builders out there, right? That don't do this, right? They advertise one thing, have their marketing company roll out a whole campaign around it, and it goes and sells. If they have phases, right? Unfortunately, what's happening is the realtors are made to look like the bad guy here because obviously we want our clients in this project. We want to make money. We want to sell. Let's get to the nitty gritty. That's why we do this, right? So we hype up projects to our clients and say, hey, this is beautiful. This is this. This is this. This is this. This is this, and we get them sold on a price point. And it's not the fact that they're sold out. If it was sold out, it's a different story. Mm-hmm. They're not. The units are still there, but they changed the pricing. So now we get there, and it's, what's the same similar of bait and switch, which isn't really kind of like not allowed, right?
Yeah.
But now who looks like the bad guy here? The realtor, me, right? Because I got my clients convinced on this. Now the developer's going to say things like, oh, well, we said started from and this. Yeah, you know what? You can hide behind these damn loopholes all you bloody want to. Right? I'm sorry, I'm going to put this out there, right? You're not doing yourself justice. You're not doing justice for your brand. You're not helping the realtors who are actually supposed to be there to try to help you. We're the ones on the ground selling these things for you guys, right? Mm-hmm. Now, there's a lot of very, very reputable developers out there that I love to work with.
Of course.
So I always tell my clients, do your research on the developers. See who they are. See how many builds they've built, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that a developer who's built zero is a bad builder or a developer, but you still want to do your research, right? But like my rant here is, you go and see these prices, you get everybody all hyped up. It's such a big ticket right now. Real estate's such a hot topic right now. People are struggling at this time, right? They hate. The power of hate is so strong right now. Amongst COVID right now, right? And it's almost like any negative can push a tipping point, right? And I've talked to a lot of buyers about this. They're starting to feel like they're getting price gouged. Why was things even advertised this way? Why was it even going this way? Why did you even tell me? And poor me and poor other realtors, we're the ones hearing the blunt of it because why'd you send us this package? We wouldn't even got our mind frame ready if this was the way it was going to be. Right? So, what really takes me off here is that, you developers out there that are doing this, obviously you're lining your pockets. I don't bloody blame you guys at all. You guys are businessmen at all. But if you're going to be that greedy, and I don't blame you guys at all. If the market is going up, great. You guys got to do it. Follow the market. I'm not saying sell it for $1. But if you're advertising, your marketing team has advertised this, right? And you made us realtors go out there and advertise it for you guys. And then we come there and you switch it on us, right? Well, your credibility is hurt, but ours are hurt even more.
Of course.
Right? We're the ones that have to deal with the aftermath of the client. We're the ones that have to console the client and say, sorry, we couldn't get it. Do you want to pay this much more? We're the ones that look like the ones that are sharking them. Not you guys, right? And I'm saying this, not all developers are doing this.
Yeah.
Right? But right now, it's such a craze happening right now that we didn't really see multiple offers on pre-sales.
Yeah.
Right? I can understand if all the units were all sold. If they're all sold and we go into flipping type of thing, or a different phase, like phase 1 has sold, phase 2 has started, we raise the price, I can understand. But you have units available, you've advertised this, you're trying to use a loophole saying starting from this, show me where you started from, how many units are sold there, why are you publicly putting it on the bus stop benches, why are you putting on newspapers, prices starting from this price here, right? And then when you go there, if they sell out, it's fine, they sell out. But if I'm the very first person there on the very first day, why are you still advertising that? You know what I mean? If there's none left, stop advertising that.
Yeah.
Right? Because we are getting the calls. They're saying, well, they're still saying prices are units are left. But then when you go there, it's not those ones, it's the higher ones. But you're still advertising that it's there. So, isn't this bait and switch that? Just that alone? If they're all gone and there is zero left at a certain price point, none at all, zero, I understand you want to get your building out there, and I understand you want to get advertisement out there. I get it. But isn't that false advertising in its own? You know what I mean? It just does not make sense. And I'm very passionate about this, Rick. You haven't seen me this riled up on this, right? It's because I feel bad for a lot of my clients.
I hear you, man.
Right?
Yeah,
and we got clients calling me and saying, you know what? We went to some of these places and the prices were nothing like you told us. And it made me look bad. Now I'm here repping buildings up, right, and developments up, and it makes me look like I don't know what I'm talking about.
I get it, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just not good for the industry. Realtors, in general, especially in today's market right now, are not getting the best rep, right? And for things like this to happen, it doesn't help, right? So, that's my rant on this. I'm not going to make names of any particular buildings or developments, whether it be Vancouver development, whether it be Richmond development, whether it be Surrey, Kelowna, whatever. I'm not going to any names on it because there's pros and cons to every single one of them.
Of course.
Right?
Yep.
But what I'm saying is, end of the day, do your research, figure out who the developer is, find out the pricing, find out is it what it actually is, or is it one of those, too good to be true scenarios?
And usually, if it is, it is. Right?
Yeah, it is. And Rick, I think I'm gonna end off with saying that. I mean, I'm pretty fired up with it, right? I have a rule when it comes to business: is no emotions involved when it comes to business.
Yeah.
But this is one of those things where I'm very passionate about my industry, right? And when it comes to things like this, it's hard for me not to get a little bit more emotional on this topic.
No, that's totally understandable,
Right.
Obviously, yeah. And I wanted to ask you a question as well. This isn't about pre-sale, but this is about condos. Like something happened recently, I'm sure many people know without naming names, but it was in Vancouver where they had that flood in the high rise.
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah. The Vancouver house, everyone knows about it.
Okay,
Everyone knows about it.
Okay, yeah, it's everywhere. Basically, in a situation like that would be under warranty or something, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's unfortunate for the residents and the realtors alike in that building.
It looked pretty bad.
Hopefully, everything is okay, and I know residents had to move out. Hopefully, we wish them a speedy repair process and everything get in properly, right? But yeah, there are things that can happen, even if those big and expensive and beautiful units. That goes to show you, it's not just these small little developments that things can happen. It can happen in these crazy $1 million constructions happening downtown.
Yeah, those units look really nice too.
Yeah, they are. They're beautiful units.
Okay, that was my question. Yeah, so it'd be covered under warranty in some fashion. Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Okay, awesome. Any last tidbits you want to add here before we?
No, I'm
we gotta
good.
get going
I'm good.
too. We got so much work to do.
I'm good. It's there's nothing else left for me to say.
Perfect. I'm glad we were able to squeeze this episode in for you guys. It might be a day or two late, but better late than never. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, guys. Obviously, message us. Give us the questions you guys want answered. This video was for you guys. Thanks a lot for covering all those great tidbits about the pros and cons about pre-sale condos. There, Jeff. Don't forget to give us a call. Number will be underneath. If you're thinking about moving within British Columbia, anywhere, give us a call. Hit that thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And we'll see you guys on the next episode. See ya.